Hi, I'm Brooke Wagner, and I'm here with Dr. Brian Ans Patrick to talk about his new book, The 10 Commandments of Propaganda. We're going to discuss the book in a series of short episodes, one for each commandment. Now I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Brian Ans Patrick, the author of The 10 Commandments of Propaganda. Commandment number 8.
10 Commandments of Propaganda, Commandment number 8. Address psychological, spiritual, and social needs of your audience. This is done in a number of ways. I'm going to talk about 3 of them. Identity, belonging, and needs for meaning. A lot of these needs that I'm talking about, psychological, spiritual, social needs, were traditionally addressed by religion. One looked at the world through the lens of the doctrine of the religion. If you were a Catholic in Middle Ages and so on, you lived off of divine grace, and grace came from heaven and it was filtered through the church and so on, and you received it in the form of the sacraments. And all this was very important. I mean, you were part of a meaningful system. Even if you were a peasant, you'd been created in a system by God who had this hierarchical kind of order of being, and you belonged, you were important, God was interested in your soul, and you mattered. The problem in the modern mass society is a lot of people feel meaningless. And you can't live like this. You can't live like this for long. You can't say, I mean nothing, my life means nothing. You have to attach yourself to something that's bigger than you. And this is where propagandists really grab people. They provide a sense of identity. Again, let me use the example of the Nazi. The Nazi becomes this, instead of a meaningless little German social servant, a civil servant in the 1930s, you become a warrior in the Aryan army fighting over control of civilization. That's quite a promotion. You belong to something that's bigger than yourself. It was the 1,000-year Reich. It wasn't just a job or a gig. Now you were going somewhere. It gave you a sense of meaning. And if you don't do this for people, they'll do it for themselves. But propagandists do it in a very systematic way. It's also accomplished through ideologies of various sorts. If you become a progressive Democrat, the meaning of your life becomes, I'm going to be part of this progressive vision. We're going to realize this on earth. We're going to take care of the poor. We're going to improve social services, social support networks, and so on. If you're going to be a conservative Republican, suddenly you're a traditionalist, and we want to preserve the meaning of the past, and we want to carry on the manifest destiny or whatever. It's always the same dance, different tune. If you do not address these core psychological, spiritual, social needs, you're not talking to anybody. I'll give you one last example in the matter of identity. We live in a consumer society, and there are many, many marketers and propagandists that are more than willing to sell you a sense of identity. I know of one fellow who became a fly fisherman, and this is a very esoteric kind of special identity. He would tie these little flies. They almost required a magnifying glass to see, and he bought all this expensive stuff at various stores. He even bought himself an Eddie Bauer version 4-wheel drive vehicle, took fly fishing lessons and so on. He never caught a fish. He didn't need to. That was irrelevant. And he would go out west on these guided hunts, spent thousands and thousands of dollars. And he became a fly fisherman. He bought it all. There's a lot of marketers out there that sell, you can become a tennis pro, you can become a basketball star by just spending $150 on a pair of shoes. Etc. Identity sales are one of the big propaganda weaknesses because people don't know who they are anymore. They don't have traditional identities, so they go out and buy one.